If you're watching, hang tight 1 second. I'm sure some of you know I had some major troubles with my laptop today, which is why I'm in here. I will get this going in 1 second. Again, my apologies. Which is okay. Let's see if we can do this. Oh, I know something's going to happen. All right. I think I got everything. 3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo Podcast, Webisode 611, the Fracture Podcast. Fracture is a dragon-type Pokemon introduced in Generation 5. It evolves from XU, whatever the hell it was, at level 38, and I can't tell you the rest. Fracture is a bipedal draconic Pokemon with long gray tusks with red tips protruding from the sides of its mouth. These tusks are capable of breaking boulders. It has dark eyes with red irises, a gray face, and a cow-like feature of green segments on its head, neck, back, and chest. Its arms have 3 red fingers, and its lower body is gray with red speckles on the underbelly. It has red toes and a red tip on its tail. Fracture is very violent and territorial. Fights over turf often break out between it and another Fracture. After a fight, it sharpens its tusks on river rocks as they do not regenerate. It lives alongside rivers. It's 50-50 male, female. It is 3 feet tall, and you can't teach that. And it's basically 80 pounds. Hi, everybody. Oh, my God. What a mess today has been. I apologize for those of you that originally came in when I said I was doing the podcast like an hour and 45 minutes ago. I have no idea what happens. Obviously, with the microphone crapping out a couple weeks ago and me getting that fixed, and now something else happening on my laptop. I think it might be the end of days for my laptop, which I'm sad to say. I'm giving it one last try. Obviously, I'm not using my laptop. Obviously, I'm not using my laptop now. I'm on my desktop computer, and thankfully today was a solo show, so I could do it like this, because if it wasn't a solo show, I don't know what the hell I would be doing. I can't fit everybody in this office, and my laptop is useless. So I was already running late. I went to go do the podcast and set it up, and I plugged in my camera, and it was like, hey, all right, let's install this thing and get it working. And I'm like, what? I've used this camera on this laptop for like 4 years now. It's not new. And I was like, I don't know, maybe something happened. Maybe there was an update. I don't know. So I updated it, or it auto updated, and it just wouldn't connect. And I'm like, what the hell's going on here? So in the device manager, we're showing all kinds of issues, blah, blah, blah. I went through so many different steps to try and fix it. Like, I want to say 10 different things that were suggested to try. And on top of that, I uninstalled drivers and reinstalled drivers and a whole bunch of stuff like that. And it would not work. It just wouldn't work. I ran upstairs to check the camera to make sure it wasn't a camera issue. Obviously, the camera's fine. It's working on my desktop right now. I don't know what happened. I really don't know. But like I said, this laptop is old. I've been thinking about getting a new laptop for a while now. This laptop is at least, it's probably close to 9 years old. It's definitely hurting, but it was getting the job done until today. And you would think a webcam issue would be an easy one to fix, but it seems like something else is going on. And it's not viruses or anything. I take very good care of my computers. I just think it's nearing the end of the line. So it's sitting behind me, or it's sitting over here right now. And I'm just doing a factory reset. I got off everything that I needed to. I grabbed all the important stuff, and I was like, all right, we'll give it one last shot. So doing a factory reset, it's at 7%, and it's been there for a long time. So it's going to be a long day. It's already been a long day. But again, thank you for those of you that were waiting to watch live. I apologize for all the hiccups. I don't know what next week is going to be like. Maybe I'll have a new laptop by next week. That'd be great. I love paying taxes and then buying a new laptop. Oh, why does this stuff all happen at the same time? It's like somebody out there knows. But anyway, that's my apology for why I'm late. Hello to, oh, I'm not even in the IRC chat. I got to do that. Boy, I'm a big idiot. Hello to Meccano and Aloe Wolf and Denick and Alexander and Toniv and Rock and Rolla and Kim and Jacob and Fangs the Wolf and Cowboy. Let me get in the IRC chat too, because those people deserve just as much love. Boy, that's terrible. There we go. All right, I am in there. I apologize, IRC chat. I'm a little frazzled today. Hello, Rock. Good to see you too. So yeah, it was a big week for Nintendo. I don't know if you know this, but Nintendo did a lot of stuff this week, and they surprised us with a lot of things, and I'm sure there's more to come. Hello, Rocket. I see you. Hello, Malik Halo. So I had a lot to cover. It was a really busy week. It's not done yet because there's the Japanese Q&A session, which has happened, and which has had the Japanese transcripts come out, but the official English translations are not available yet. And I'm sure someone out there is pouring through the Japanese translations right now. So that information is still yet to be put out there. Probably at least some of it sometime this weekend. I don't know if there's any more bombshells in there or not. Well, we got the investor information and the sales details and the slides and all that jazz. So I mean, if you like the financial side of things, then this was your week. But yeah, there were some other tidbits in there too that were definitely exciting to see crop up. So I don't know how long the show's going to go. I don't know. It's been one of those days. I don't know. But I'm going to cover whatever there is, and we'll just go with the flow. So if it's a short show, I apologize. But I'll make of it what I will. So Nintendo talked a little bit about Fire Emblem Echoes, and they are saying that the Echoes name might be used in the future if they do more remakes. So they were throwing around a whole bunch of name ideas for this remake. And they thought they'd go with Echoes. They liked the idea of Echoes, which admittedly is a pretty cool idea for a remake, a pretty cool idea for a name. PC is sending me Snapchats of me streaming to her TV saying about damn time. Yeah, I tried. But anyway, so they're considering a whole bunch of different names for this. And they decided on Echoes. But it seems like Echoes might not be a one-off. If they do future Fire Emblem remakes, they might name them Echoes as well. This comes from Intelligent Systems. One of their developers says, we put a lot of thought into a title like Echoes that can let older games echo with the modern players. We were very pleased with it. And if there were to be more remakes, we would likely use the Echoes title again. Now, I may follow Nintendo, but I'm not intimately familiar with... Yes, D-Nick, I'm wearing a Dean Ambrose shirt. I've been wearing it for 2 days now because I haven't had a chance to shower. It's been really busy. But yes, this is a Dean Ambrose shirt. I don't even remember what I was saying. Oh, I'm not too intimate. I may follow Nintendo, but I'm not too intimately familiar with the Fire Emblem franchise because obviously we had to wait for one of them to be localized for quite some time. But now the franchise is picking up steam here. So remakes will be completely new to me, and there's entries that haven't even come here, obviously. So the future is bright, and I have a lot of Fire Emblem to catch up on. Kuro has first comment, and he says, well, in Japan, the game at launch did about the same as the DS Fire Emblem remakes. Just like with Pokemon Go, Fire Emblem Heroes did not improve sales of the games. Pokemon Sun and Moon sold less than X and Y in Japan, but everywhere else sold more than X and Y. Japan also had Fire Emblem Gaiden. That's an old holdover from when I was a kid, and I used to play Ninja Gaiden. Fire Emblem Gaiden has a virtual console game, and its game is considered one of the worst in the series. So yeah, so basically, we have to see how it does in the West. I'm sure it will be at least sell as much as Birthright or Conquest here. That's what he said. Yeah, the franchise may not have a ton of steam over in Japan. I mean, it's doing well. It debuted at #1, but yeah, over in Europe and North America, it's a little bit different because we're more new to the franchise. Obviously, it's not new at this point, but it is more new for us. We haven't had it as long as they have. PC says, wearing the same shirt for 2 days, it sounds like something Dean Ambrose would do. Yeah, I'm trying to be in character. Sure. Well, if you watch wrestling, wrestlers wear the same outfits all the time when they're wrestling in the ring, and when you see them every Monday night or whenever you see them at a live show, they're wearing the same thing. So just trying to stay true to my wrestling interest. I don't want to disrespect wrestlers by changing my clothes. We have a Famitsu survey, and it polled 1,294 Switch owners, and it asked them, how you feel about the Switch? You bought the Switch. What are you thinking about it? So they asked, why did you decide to purchase a Switch? The #1 reason was for the games on the console. What a novel idea, buying a system that plays games for the games. Right underneath that was so I can play outside. So the portable aspect really big, especially in Japan. They love portables over there. And then right below that was, I always buy Nintendo machines. So that's a good reason too. Then I like the features of the main controller. I like the design of the main controller. Unit/controller is what they're saying. Because of multiplayer and because of selling price. That's the lowest one. And then there's 0.7% say other. So we don't know why they bought it. When and where they purchased, we don't need that. Where have people spent most of their time with the Switch, as in what modes have they been using? #1 is TV mode with 53%, then portable mode, then table mode, I'm sorry, and blah, 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 blah. But they specifically break down using it in tablet mode or portable mode, indoors and outdoors, and more people have been using those, all three modes, more indoors than outdoors. 1.7% say, I haven't played yet. I bought a Switch. I got one. I haven't played it yet. Hey, things happen, I guess. So that's specifically for this poll, 14 people. So 14 people have it and haven't played it yet. How satisfied are you with the hardware performance? 40% say very satisfied. 44% say satisfied. 9% say neither. So I guess they were given very satisfied, satisfied, somewhat dissatisfied, and dissatisfied. So they picked none of those. 4% say somewhat dissatisfied, and 1% says dissatisfied. Ask them about Joy-Con performance, the same satisfaction question. Very satisfied, 27%. Satisfied, 41%. Neither, 20%. Somewhat dissatisfied, 9%. And completely dissatisfied, 1.6%. What peripherals have you purchased? Excuse me. #1, Pro Controller, 35%. Carrying case, 19%. Joy-Con grip, 5%. Joy-Con left, specifically. Joy-Con left, 2.3%. The AC adapter, 1.4%. Joy-Con strap, 0.8%. Dock set, 0.3%. And none. I've purchased no accessories, 35%. How many games have you purchased? 43% say 1. 26% say 2. 16% say 3. 5% say 4. Reading two sets of numbers is confusing me. 2% say 5, 3% say 6, and 2.5% of people, so 20 people polled, haven't bought a game. Does that mean I haven't digitally downloaded one either? Did I download a demo? Did you get the Tetris demo? I just like to look at it. I don't want to play anything on it. Which games do you frequently play? Obviously, number 1 is Breath of the Wild. Then 1, 2 Switch, then Snipper Clips, then Bomberman, then Dragon Quest, then Voez, then Puyo Puyo Tetris, then Disgaea, then Blaster Master Zero, then King of Fighters 98, then I Am Setsuna, and then finally at the bottom, 5.2% say other software. How satisfied are you with the software lineup? 9% are very satisfied. 24% are satisfied. 19.8% are neither. Somewhat dissatisfied is 31%. Uh-oh, not good. And 15% are dissatisfied. So let me see here. Yeah, more people are dissatisfied or somewhat dissatisfied than they are satisfied and very satisfied combined. That's not good. What is your overall satisfaction level at the moment? 91 points or more. So this is 0 points to 100 points. 22% are 90 points satisfied. Man, I'm getting tired of saying satisfied. 81 to 90 is 27%. 71 to 80 is 24%. 61 to 70 is 12%. 51 to 60 is 5%. 41 to 50 is 4%. 31 to 40 is 0.6%. 21 to 30 is 1.5%. 11 to 20 is 0.5%. And 10 points are or less, 1% of the people. So 1% of the people really aren't happy with their Switch. What do you want from the future of Nintendo Switch? From most wanted to least wanted. Splatoon 2 and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So they should be happy at least one of those ways. Support for YouTube and Nico Nico. Improvement of software and implementation of Virtual Console. To be enjoyed by adults and children. To give new ways to play. Live video commentary distribution. Improved software lineup. Improved functionality with mobile devices. A community like Miiverse, and then finally to be able to save data to SD cards. I mean, I'm always surprised. I shouldn't be surprised, yet somehow I'm always surprised with how opinionated people are. When they're like, this system has been out less than a month. This is at the time of the poll. This system's been out less than a month. I want more software. It's a month. It's not even a month and you want more software. And there's a whole bunch of games out there. I just put together a list of, I want to say 20 games, retail and eShop, that I personally give my seal of approval to. And that's not all the games that are available. Somebody on Twitter was saying there's no games. And I said, I can give you a list of games that I personally like if you want. And they said, sure. So I gave them the list and they're like, thank you. You calmed me down. Yeah, you just got to look. You got to look at what games are there. That's all. But people rather complain. Beard or Decide has the first comment, and he says mobile mode played indoors was 34.2%. People who tell me they don't like to play handheld systems don't get it. It's not about going outside to play. It's about playing anywhere in your house while the TV is being taken up by someone else. Yes, that's a very good point. If your TV is being watched by someone else, on the Wii U, you could play on the gamepad with most games. On the Switch, you can just take the thing and go wherever you want. So yeah, that kind of stuff is definitely important. Santiago says, yeah, I already have 11 games for my Switch. Yeah, I have something like 16, I think. 15 or 16 between retail and download. And he says that's not counting Neo Geo games. That's counting one Neo Geo game for me. I downloaded Neo Geo Turf Masters, which I had never played, but I'm a fan of golf games. And I've been playing it a lot, especially with R-Type, because he's into golf games as well, and neither of us have played it. But we like Neo Geo games. It was an arcade game, obviously, and we could play it in the comfort of our home, so we've been playing it. Really like it. Lots of fun. Data. All right, so we have the financial report, and I will give you some of these details. Now, obviously, there's a huge breakdown that I could go through, but I'm not going to, just because there's so many. Oh man, the regular Audacity recording has crapped out. You know, I can't win today, man. Well, that answers that. This microphone has to be on the fritz, either the microphone or the cord. That's officially the answer. Oh man, today's one of those days where I just want to scream, but I will not. because that doesn't get me anything. I will continue on. Oh, thank God for the YouTube show, so I can rip the audio from there. We haven't missed a podcast in 611 episodes. That's consecutively. Every single week, we have done one podcast. We have never lost an episode. In the old days, I would have to restart the podcast. Now, thankfully, because of YouTube, I can rip the audio from there. Dear Lord, what a day. It's the weekend. Weekend's supposed to be fun. All right, anyway, here's your fiscal results, some of the biggest details. Breath of the Wild on Switch sold 2.76 million units. On Wii U, it sold 1.08 million units. So it's at 3.8 million sold, and that was just to the end of March. That doesn't include any of the April sales. So I would imagine another million in there at least. That's just guessing. The Switch sold 2.74 million units. Switch software altogether sold 5.46 million units. We saw some good numbers for Snipper Clips, which did 350,000 downloads. And Super Bomberman R, which has shipped 500,000 units. So good stuff there. Nintendo's predicting another 10 million units sold in this fiscal year, which would put the total system sold at roughly 13 million, which would be a big deal because that would mean by the end of the next fiscal year, the Switch, if it achieves those numbers, would have outsold or almost outsold, just barely missed it, the total install base of the Wii U over its entire lifespan. So we'd like to see this number hit. And here's the really good news. Analysts are saying that number is Nintendo's underestimating what they're going to sell. And analysts are, or investors, I guess should say, are upset that Nintendo's forecast is low like that because they think it's going to do more. So that's good. Obviously, Nintendo's like, hey, thought the Wii U was going to do well. We overshot a little bit. Didn't exactly go well. Let's be a little conservative with the Switch. But, you know, investors don't care about that stuff. Not all of them. Some do. What else we got here? Super Mario Maker has sold 2.34 million units. Pokemon Sun and Moon have sold 15.44 million units. Kirby Planet Robobot sold 1.36 million units. Those Kirby games, every mainline Kirby game hits over 1 million sold. What else we got here? 3DS sold 8.3 million. Oh, no. Whatever. We don't need to do any of that stuff. If you want to get the full details on like the top million sellers on the platform between Wii U and 3DS and Switch, obviously, which has one title in there right now, you can get that full breakdown, plus the total install base of the 3DS, which is like, I don't know, 66 million or something like that. If not more. I think I'm off. But you can get that whole breakdown, like every minute detail you would want to know about how much what sold, where, and when, and all that stuff. First comment comes from Master of Monster, and he says, yeah, Switch will totally surpass Wii U lifetime sales in about a year. I have high hopes for the new console. And while I do not care much for being on the winning console, it will be nice if Nintendo can get back up there, so to speak. So maybe to put an end to most of this negativity that has infested the gaming community for years now. So nice to see some positive Nintendo news. Yeah, that negativity is going to be there forever. I'm not trying to be negative. I just know it's going to be there forever. But we stay positive, and we like Nintendo, obviously, but we like games across all platforms. So no need to bash. We want everybody to succeed. I want to see Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo succeed because the more successful platforms, the more games there are out there, the more options we have to play stuff. And that's what it's all about. Here's something really interesting. Super Mario Run is nearing 150 million downloads. Nintendo did not say how many of those are paid customers, but it's less than 10%, although they said that number is growing. And this download number is between iOS and Android, if you were wondering. But here's the real interesting thing. Fire Emblem Heroes, which is also on iOS and Android, has been downloaded less than 1/10 of Super Mario Run's total downloads, but it has made more revenue than Super Mario Run. So that right there shows you People are not willing to pay the upfront $10 cost in Super Mario Run, or I should say the cost after the first 3 levels, one blanket fee, and never pay again. They don't want to do that. They are interested in just getting a game for free and seeing how long they can play it without having to go into microtransactions. But apparently people have no problem with microtransactions because this game's made more than Super Mario Run. And it has less than 1/10 of the install base. So those microtransactions are coming in every single day. And Nintendo's making some bank off of them. Jack... Let's do this. Jakey Snaky DX. That's probably how he wants it read. Jakey Snaky DX says, isn't it curious, though? I play Mario Run, and I know I wouldn't spend a time... I know I wouldn't spend a time if it were pay per level or purchase Toad tickets, but something makes me yearn for it. Something about it fits. I'm almost positive it would have worked better for them despite being more expensive than the $10 up front. Fire Emblem Heroes, I can't even stand. The game is fun, but I'm past it already. I can't tolerate the idea of paying so much money for absolutely so little. The mobile consumer is a strange cat. Nintendo has said they're all about trying different monetization paths on mobile, and they're like, we'll try this over here, we'll try that over there, we'll try this idea this way, and they're testing out all different ways. And obviously you can see right now, at least in the way that they presented Super Mario Run, people are more willing to do regular microtransactions than they are pay up front like Super Mario Run asks. And then there's a whole debate you can have about the quality of the game, because some people will say it wasn't a good game. You know, obviously it's not a traditional Mario game. It's a not an endless runner, but a runner. There's a whole debate that could be had, but I think the biggest debate is people don't want to pay the $10. People don't want to pay $10 on mobile. That's it. They just want free. Europe, this week's digital downloads. What did Europe get on the Switch and the 3DS and the Wii U? On the Switch, they got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, just like we did. It is now available for all to play and enjoy. Puyo Puyo Tetris is also available. Another excellent game that you should definitely check out, especially if you have some friends to play local multiplayer, because that is a blast. And you'll end up hating your friends and family. Another fantastic game, Kamiko, is available. I also don't know how long this damn show is. God damn it. Whatever, I'll just go. I don't want people to sit on Kamiko and miss out on it. I don't want... It's a really good game for what it is. I mean, I did a video review. You can check out the video review and see what I think at length. But you've heard me talk about it on the podcast before. I really like Kamiko. It's not the longest game in the world, and it's not the most complex, but I think it's a fantastic game. Really, really good. And it's $5. $5. When was the last time you bought something for $5 and you regretted it so much that you're still angry about it now? Like, I'm not saying I'm Mr. Moneybags here or anything, but like $5, even if you download the game and you hate it, I don't think like 3 years from now you'd be like, God damn it, I spent that $5 on that game. I've bought games that I didn't enjoy and spent far more money on them, and I'm not angry about them now. I may have been angry for a certain amount of time, but, you know, it's $5. Take a chance. It's a great game. A lot of fun, very interesting, great soundtrack. Yeah, check it out. I really am impressed with it. Really liked it. Way better than I was expecting. Let's put it that way. I thought it was going to be an okay game to kill some time with. And I ended up thinking, man, I hope they make a sequel to this where they expand on everything, because I really like it. So Kamiko is out. Also, the Neo Geo game Overtop is available, which is a racing game. The 3DS got Pick-a-Pix Color DLC. That's basically $2 a pop. The new 3DS specifically got the Ascent of Kings, the death of a king, an epic challenge to choose a new ruler. Will the smallest of 4 brothers turn out to be the strongest? Will a young boy become king? The answer is up to you. Yeah, I mean, kings got to start out young at some point, grow up, right? So yeah, that's your answer. 3DS theme shop has been updated with Hello Kitty 3D toy and Hello Kitty 3D runs. Runs means something different to me. This says Hello Kitty runs with her friends. That should be the name of the theme, not Hello Kitty 3D runs. Wii U got Use Your Words. I just found out about this game. I didn't even know it existed, and it seems like it's up my alley. It's kind of like it's got like a Jackbox feel to it. And I'm surprised it came to Wii U. I didn't even know they were bringing it to Wii U. Hopefully they bring it to Switch. I'll give you the rundown. Grab a few friends and get ready to laugh. Use Your Words is the party game for funny people with their unfunny friends. Use Your Words is a game that invites players to respond to a variety of minigames and prompts with the funniest answers they can think of. Players play using their phones and tablets as controllers, making gameplay seamless and quick to pick up. Players who get stumped can use one of the hidden house answers to lay a trap for fellow players once it's time for everyone to vote for their favorite. Yeah, I mean, right in line with like Fibbage or something like that from Jackbox. I think AVGN did a whatever they do, Monday video. They do videos on Mondays of various games. I think they just recently did one where you can see some gameplay if you're interested in seeing what it's like when you actually play rather than just watching a trailer. So check that out. But yeah, available on Wii U. Hopefully it comes to Switch. Wii U also got the Pick-a-Pix Color DLC. And there is Minecraft DLC as well. This is paid DLC, I should point out. The Glide Beasts Track Pack and the Glide Track Pack Season Pass are available. And then there's some special offers on some stuff. So big week. Definitely a big week if you got a Switch. But thank you, Fangs the Wolf. James and Mike Mondays. Thank you. I don't know why I couldn't remember that ridiculously simple name. I'm like, oh, what's that name? You know, it has, oh, thank you, Rocket, over in the IRC, both of you, unless you're the same person. Thank you. Low Camp says, it's a week of old games boxed re-releases for the Switch. For those who have the system and don't own Mario Kart 8 or Puyo Puyo Tetris on any of the formerly released platforms, however, you can't go wrong. Yeah, great games. Great games. Definitely worth your time. Lots of fun to be had there. North America, our downloads on the Wii U, the 3DS, and the Switch. We got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. We also got Puyo Puyo Tetris. Those are both Switch, obviously. The 3DS theme shop has been updated with Kirby's 25th anniversary theme. Runbow Pocket theme bundle as well. Also new this week. Not yet. I would say this is next week, Nintendo. Tumbleseed is available on May 2nd, which I'll be talking more about at the end of the show. Overtop is available now. Kamiko is available now. On 3DS, you can get a demo of Parascientific Escape Cruise in the Distant Seas. Rolls off the tongue. Blasting Agent Ultimate Edition got a demo version on the 3DS. Use Your Words hit the Wii U here as well. And then finally, we have Absolutely Unstoppable Mine Run on the Wii U. Al says Pollo Loco Tetris. Yeah, I have an aunt that it always thinks that's what I'm saying, Pollo Pollo. I'm like, no. I guess I should say Puyo Puyo. Should I say Puyo? How do you say it? Do you say Pollo or Puyo? How do you say that made-up word? Guy Bones says SLU, super lovely uploads. That's an old podcast joke if people aren't familiar with that. We used to say, or somebody on the site used to say SLU sucks like usual when they were complaining about the downloads that were coming out each week. So he took that and he changed it up a little bit. Mr. Kimishima, who is the head honcho over at Nintendo. Here we go. Duckus says Puyo. Al says Puyo. Drew says Poyo Poyo. And Dynamic Kirby says, hey guys, how you doing? If you're talking to me, I'm doing great. How are you doing? If you're talking to the other chat, Lowcamp says Poyo is Kirby. Puyo is Puyo. Puyo is correct. Well, then I will start saying Puyo. Anyway, Mr. Kimishima, the head honcho over at Nintendo, talked a little bit about the Switch sales and some unannounced games and Zelda and all that jazz. He says, we have done a lot of things to raise awareness about how the Switch experience can offer something new, and I am just relieved that consumers seem to have accepted it. It is surprising that Zelda is doing so well, but it also proved what we have been saying is right. A good game title will spur sales of the platform device. Furthermore, he says more unannounced titles for Switch will be revealed. and those should continue to boost the platform sales. He also says Nintendo will be spending more this year on promotions to sell the Switch, which puts a drag on operating profit, just letting the investors know. So he's like, hey, we might be making more money, but we're going to be spending more money to let people know this system's out there. The advertising for the Switch in general has been like nonstop, like commercials and billboards and posters and all kinds of stuff. The Target situation for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, that's like a very detailed partnership. The store's getting makeovers, a commercial specifically related to Target for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, all kinds of awesome stuff. So hopefully that continues like all this year. Obviously, it's going to cost a pretty penny, but got to get the system out there in front of those eyes. Kaiser GX says, well, it certainly helps that there's more Nintendo-themed merchandise. I always felt I could never find anything Nintendo-related besides games and gaming accessories. And now there's a lot of stuff out there to keep Nintendo in people's minds. I certainly welcome the expanded marketing. Yes, I do as well. I've always thought over the years I'll watch TV and see commercials for any number of games. And yes, there were commercials for Nintendo games too. But I'd see, like, on the shows I was watching, non-stop advertising for, like, Sony and Microsoft games. And I'm like, God damn it, Nintendo, come on, get some commercials out there. What are you doing? Maybe they are now. Perhaps we're seeing a little bit how Kimishima's approach is different than Iwata's approach. I think when it comes to advertising, you got to be a little bit more ruthless. I'm not saying you got to do what Sega used to do, which was like, Nintendo sucks, buy Sega. But you gotta aggressively advertise. You really have to get in people's faces. I'm not going to do that one. Lost to the Ages. You can read it in our top stories if you'd like to. It's there for you at a later date. I did a video in my Talking Points series. The newest Talking Points video takes a look at indies versus AAA games. Now, if you listen to the podcast, you know that I've been debating doing this idea, and I've decided to finally do it. So I put together some thoughts, put together a video for you guys, and the reception has been really good. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. You can check it out on the YouTube channel. It's me. Let me see. It's me talking for 22 minutes about indies versus AAA and why I think the argument is pointless. So thank you to those of you who watched it. Thank you for the kind words. Oh, yeah, I got to say something about that later. I will remember. So yeah, check out that video if you haven't. Also this week, Nintendo surprised us out of nowhere. There were absolutely zero leaks. Nobody leaked this information. It was just bam, a new video on Nintendo's YouTube channel. And it announced the Nintendo, or I should say, the new 2DS XL from Nintendo. It comes out July 28th. That's in North America. I forget what the date is in Europe. It's somewhere right around there. Japan gets it July 13th. And I think Australia gets it earlier too. But anyway, it's $150. It's a redesign. Technically, it's a redesign of the 3DS and the 2DS, but they're keeping the 2DS name because it doesn't do 3D. So it's the new 2DS XL. I think it's a pretty slick-looking machine. This includes an AC adapter and a 4 gig SD card, which is something that has been lacking in other bundles. So now you don't have to worry about using a charger you already have or having to buy an extra one or getting more storage space. It's in there. $150. Pretty damn good deal. And that launches, like I said, the 28th, July 28th, but it launches the same day as Hey Pikmin and Miitopia. So not only are we getting the redesign of the 3DS/2DS, we're getting Hey Pikmin and Miitopia on the exact same day. Maybe Nintendo's like, we got to make this 150 so people are going to buy at least one other game with it. I did not buy a 2DS. I have used a 2DS. I thought it was quite comfortable in my hands, but I wasn't like, I need to buy this. With the new 2DS XL, I might buy it. I really like it. I just like the look of the system. I like the color scheme. Unfortunately, we're only getting the blue and black version. We're not getting the orange and white version at Europe, at least not at launch. Right? Yeah, we're not getting the orange and white one that Europe and Japan are getting, which is sad. Maybe we'll get it at a later date. I don't know why we're only getting one color. I don't know why. Man, what it would be like to be a fly on the wall in those meetings where Nintendo's like, Europe should get 2 color options. Japan should get 2 color options. North America should get only the one. But which one? Black and blue. That's what we should get them. Why? I want to know why. Who says that stuff? I want to know how those decisions are made. I think that stuff is so interesting. Well, we'll never know. Top-rated comment is what I was hoping someone would say. Mirai has the top-rated comment, and he says, white and gold? I only see black and blue. Remember that old dress crap? It's exactly what I thought of when I saw this system. Well, the joke's going around again, thanks to Nintendo's color choices. So that's July 28th. You got some time to save up some cash. And here's the good thing about it. If you don't like it, you don't have to buy it. It doesn't do anything different from the other 3DSs. Except not do 2D or not do 3D. So you're ahead of the game if you got a new 3DS or a new 3DS XL or a 3DS. Yeah, it's just out there for whoever wants it, basically, just like any product. But I've seen some people are like, why does this exist? This shouldn't exist. That's going to be a talking points video I'm going to do whenever I get, free time, which now that this goddamn laptop broke, killed the rest of my day. So that's 69% right now. Whatever the hell that means. Nintendo has detailed their plans for Switch momentum. They got to maintain that momentum. So I told you 10 million units is what they're planning to ship by the end of the next fiscal, or by the end of this fiscal year. We're in the new fiscal year. Fiscal year ends March 2018. So total by then they're hoping is 12.7 million units. Like I said, right under 13. Because as you know, 12.7 is close to 13. So here's how they're going to keep the Switch going. All throughout this year and during the course of the holiday season, it's critical we maintain buzz. To that end, we will release new titles at a regular pace. Furthermore, we will aim for consumers to continue enjoying Switch for a long time through exciting social multiplayer titles. In addition, we hope to raise the value of Switch by working with third-party publishers to create multiple hit titles early on and bolster the software lineup. So yeah, I mean, Nintendo's first-party lineup is strong, man. Zelda, One-Two-Switch, Snipper Clips, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, ARMS, Splatoon 2, Super Mario Odyssey, and they're saying Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is still going to be 2017, which if that happens, that blows my mind. And there's secrets in there, too, that we don't know about. There's guaranteed secrets that are going to come out this year that we don't know about. They have a major game every month. That's one major game from Nintendo every single month until the year closes out. That's nuts. That's a big deal. And to have that for the launch of a system is even better. So if you're wondering what social multiplayer games are, Nintendo is saying Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, ARMS, and Splatoon 2 are social multiplayer games. They'll get people talking more than just, talking online when they play, which is something we can't do on a Switch. Until later, anyway. Sokar says, seems like a good plan to start. Yes, I agree. And we're off to a good start. We're off to a good start for now. Let's hope that keeps going. Nintendo also talked about the NES Classic Edition, which, let me see here. In one day, after one day, you won't be able to buy it in stores anymore. Done. No more shipments for stores. Over. This is your last weekend to have any chance of going into a store and potentially finding a new one. One might be hidden out there somewhere, but Nintendo's not sending any more new units to retailers. It's over. They've sold 2.3 million NES Classic Editions, and they're like, hey, sorry, we know people want this. But Reggie specifically says, we had originally planned for this to be a product for last holiday. We just didn't anticipate how incredible the response would be. Once we saw that response, we added shipments and extended the product for as long as we could to meet more of that consumer demand. Even with that extraordinary level of performance, we understand that people are frustrated about not being able to find the system, and for that, we really do apologize. But from our perspective, it's important to recognize where our future is and the key areas that we need to drive. We've got a lot going on right now. We don't have unlimited resources. Excuse me. Yeah, they got other stuff to take care of now. It would be wonderful if they could keep making the NES Classic Edition, but they have to manufacture Switches. They have to manufacture all the other 3DS designs. They have to manufacture the new 2DS XL. They have to make Joy-Cons. They have to make docks. They have to all that stuff. So, manufacturing lines are running crazy, and they just don't have the money, the time, or the manpower to keep making NES Classic Editions. Maybe sometime down the road they'll do another wave of them. Then there's that whole rumor of Nintendo moving to the Super Nintendo Classic Edition, which Nintendo hasn't commented on, so you could factor that in as well. But Yeah, there's a lot of people that wanted them, and it was a struggle from day one right to the end to try and find one. But hopefully, if you wanted one, you got one. I know some of you didn't, but it seems like that's it. I mean, you could cross your fingers and hope that they do another run. It's not out of the question, but as of right now, you're out of luck. Vigilante Blade says, I honestly couldn't care less about justifications. Number one, if the marketing department knew how to use Google, they'd have known they made too few. Number two, if they allowed people to pre-order in advance and made stock to meet the demand, they'd have sold more. Number three, people wanted it. You should have made more. I'm sick and tired of making my schedule around your fabricated scarcity and your ridiculous limited editions. You gave your customers a terrible shopping experience, and you should be ashamed of yourself. The least you could do is give a groveling apology. Stop trying to justify yourself and make more. I mean, he's angry. It was tough to get one, I understand. Here's the real thing. Nintendo intended it to be a limited run product. It sold more than they thought. Did they underestimate? Yes. Is that their fault? Yes. But they went in and they made more. They made a mistake. They said earlier, is that right here? Is that what I'm going to read now? Yeah, Reggie says, we get it right more times than we get it wrong, but sometimes we get it wrong. So here you go. They got it wrong. They're saying they got it wrong. So what are you going to do? Is it Nintendo not judging demand accurately? Is it Nintendo driving up sales by keeping the hardware scarce? Is it both? Is it neither? We're never going to know. That's for you to decide. You have to look at what information is out there and decide for yourself. And if you think Nintendo's doing it on purpose, then you think they're doing it on purpose. And if you think they were just not caught off guard by the demand, then they were caught off guard. Whatever. The end result is you either got one or you didn't. And from here on out, to be on the safe side, it might suck, but you have to be ready to pre-order these things when they open pre-orders or be at the store when they come out. And I know that sucks when it's not pre-orders, and I agree that it sucks and it shouldn't be that way, but that's the way it is. Look at the Switch. You could pre-order that. They're putting stock out all the time. I mean, you can't deny that they're putting stock out. We see stock replenishment every week at least, or every other week, and it sells out ridiculously fast. Target and Best Buy got units specifically for the launch Mario Kart 8, and they're selling out left and right. They sold out online in a couple hours. That's the online stock that sold out. Amazon sold out. You can find retailers around the U.S. that have like 2 or 3 units at any given time, but they sell out within a couple days. So it's tough. It is tough, but hang in there, my friends. I'm not going to go into the specifics of it, but Reggie says they're going to try and do their best to see who wants the new 2DS XL and, get enough shipments out there so they can avoid the situation that happened with the NES Classic Edition. We'll see if that happens. I mean, look at 3DS in general. This past holiday season, it was sold out everywhere because people were trying to get them because of Pokemon and the great deals and stuff like that. And it was a surprise. The system's been out for 6+ years and it's sold out. It was hard to find and people were getting mad. Nintendo obviously wasn't ready for that. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. This is so weird. Let me check the comments. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe over on Amazon is currently... Well, let me see. I don't want to lie. I'll check the list right now. Being on this desktop is pretty good. I got 2 monitors here and I can do stuff while I'm doing the podcast. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is currently Amazon's best-selling game of 2017. It is in the number 3 position overall for video games. Number 1 is a PlayStation Network card. Number 2 is a PlayStation Network card. So the first actual video game is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It is Amazon's best-selling game of 2017. Number 4 is Breath of the Wild. So when it comes to Amazon, Amazon has sold more copies of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe than it has Zelda Breath of the Wild. And Zelda Breath of the Wild's sales, we already covered them, 3.08 million. No, that's not right. Higher than that. Whatever it was, over 3 million. But they've sold more copies of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. That's insane. Now, obviously, people are buying Zelda and Mario Kart at a lot of other retailers. But whatever the situation was over at Amazon, the this is the craziest part. Launch day for Mario Kart put Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at the #1 position, beating out Zelda. It's mind-blowing. J-Rake says, maybe that's why my order is arriving 2 days late now. Yeah, there were some shipping issues, certainly, which got people upset. No. They're making a joke. They're talking about how people in the comments are talking about how well ports are selling on the Switch, and how, you know, people are like, why is Nintendo porting? And now they're like, look, this is why. So they're having a discussion about other ports that could potentially come to the Switch, and they're talking about Smash Brothers from the Wii U. And some guy said the name of the game would be Smash Brothers for Wii U, but also Switch. Another title that rolls off the tongue. The Destructo94 says, God, I hope that's the name of the Switch port. That would be amazing, though I'd also like to add new in front of the title as well. Yeah, you know, to really confuse consumers. So to be called New Smash Brothers for Wii U, but also Switch. Oh, that naming games after system is something that has always irked me with Nintendo. Give it its own name, or even just stick the number after it. Like, you know, Super Mario 64. No, give me a different name, something to call it. Like, because then we get into Super Mario 64 2, or like the whole new Super Mario Brothers stuff. Adding new. It's like Nintendo doesn't understand. New isn't new forever. Is this new? No, this is old. But it says new. Yeah, well, it was new at the time, but now it's old. But this new one is new because this is called new. So that's how you know it's new. So we're going to have to count up the news and say, oh, this has 7 news. We know this is the newest one. I love Nintendo, but sometimes. Reggie says that there's more 3DS announcements coming, including software. He specifically says, we will certainly be announcing new titles for the 3DS, and we'll do that continuously. Some things will be announced at E3. There will be some that will be some that will be announced after E3. For us, E3 is an important event, but it's not the one defining moment. So you're going to hear 3DS stuff at E3 and afterwards, and maybe before, the whole year. Who cares? He's asked about more virtual console support on the 3DS, which would be the new 3DS and stuff like that. Reggie says, we know that there's tremendous interest in the overall area. We're blessed with having a tremendous legacy of content that we've launched across various platforms. We've got nothing to announce right now in terms of virtual console offerings, whether it's on 3DS or Switch, but we know there's a tremendous amount of interest in this area. So the same old song and dance from Nintendo. We know you want it. We ain't talking about it. Have fun, Jacob. Enjoy your pizza. Canberg says, just when I thought we were out, they pull us back in. Your new Metroid game is a 3DS one, ladies and gents. Well, let's see. New Metroid at E3? Wouldn't that be nice? Metroid Other M2. There's a rumor that popped up yesterday. It comes from a well-known hacker that follows Nintendo, and they have hacked information before and gotten it correct. They say they found eShop information pointing to a remake of Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga. According to them, it's called Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga DX, and it is coming to the 3DS. And that's all we know. Like I said, rumor, but coming from a credible source. And you would imagine if the eShop listing pops up, then that's something that's going to be announced at E3. Place your bets right now. Is it going to happen? Immediate Muffin says, I love this game, but I really hate the art style of Dream Team and Paper Jam. So I would hate it if it was just remaking Superstar Saga in that style. I would much rather see the original on 3DS, along with every other GBA game they got on Wii U. Well, my friend, I don't know. We'll see what happens. E3 is not that far off. And then finally, we have more rumored information, or we have more information on the rumored Rabbids/Mario crossover. This comes from our friend Emily Rogers. We haven't heard from her in quite some time, but she's got new details. She says it's called Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. So maybe it'll be Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. There's 8 playable characters. This includes Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Yoshi. Obviously, there's others who she's not saying. Each character has their own sci-fi weapons, such as laser guns, arm cannons, and more. Characters aren't controlled directly, but are instead controlled through something called a tutorio. And a tutorio is a small floating dish which guides the characters through the world. This game will feature co-op multiplayer, and it is a fully 3D game. There's your latest rumors on that. Now that is a rumor that's a game rumored to be in existence for a long time now. We heard about it before the Switch came out. Still haven't heard an official peep from Nintendo or Ubisoft either way. Is E3 going to be the reveal? Almost Zen says, I'll be all over this game as long as it gets a physical release. So I imagine if it's real, it's going to get a physical release. I don't think you have to worry about that at all. It's a first party. Well, it's a Mario game. And it sounds like a big deal, and it's a collaboration between them and Ubisoft. I don't think you have to worry about physical release at all. So there you go. You got two rumors. Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga DX and the Rabbids Mario game. Are they real? Stake your claim right now. Put it down in the comments. You say, I think this is real. I think this one's fake. I think both are fake. I think both are real. Stake your claim now. We'll find out eventually. I would imagine we'll find out at least one at E3, if not both. Stake your claim. I trust Emily. This hacker guy, I don't personally know him, but I know he's gotten information right before. I don't know. I'm going to say both are real. That's where I stand. I'm staking my claim, damn it. If I'm making you guys do it, I'm staking my claim. Real. Both real. That's what I say. All right, that's your top stories. Good Lord almighty. Talking about what I played. I played a very little bit of Nier Automata. I wish I had more time to play, but it was a very busy week. I've been tied to the computer. I'm always tied to computer, but more so this week than most. So I haven't really had time. The first time I really got to sit down and play something was last night, and I played more Tumbleseed. Reviews for Tumbleseed are allowed to be published on May 2nd, so Tuesday, so right around the corner. I'm going to have a video review. I've talked to you about this game somewhat, and I spent a lot more time with it since I talked to you about it initially. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's going to be a very unique review for me to do. It's a love-hate relationship with me for this game. It's very high quality. It's got a really great soundtrack. You can tell the developers put a lot of work into it. It's very unique, interesting. It is very challenging, and I have nothing wrong with challenging games. But I feel it might, I don't know, it might be too challenging for its own good. Challenging where it takes away from fun, like not fair challenge. But then again, that could be just for me. So I'm going to have to address this review from all sorts of angles. Because the game does things to lessen the pain that you experience. So it's constantly like, oh, this game is really making me angry. All right, now it's gotten better. Oh, this game's making me, all right, this helps now. So it's like that over and over and over again. Here's the best way I can sum it up for you. This is the best compliment I could give right now. Last night, I poured a lot of time into it. By the end, I was like, I cannot take anymore. It's too much of a challenge for me at this moment. I need to take a break. I did that, did some work, went to bed. Woke up today and I was like, can't wait to get back into that game. And I thought to myself, oh, I'm surprised. I didn't think I'd feel like that. I haven't gone back into it yet, but that's how I feel. So yeah, it's constantly, I'm having an internal struggle with this game, but I can tell you it is high quality, very well made, excellent overall package. Any of my hardships with the game or any of my points of contention with the game aren't from the game being broken or low quality or low effort or anything like that. I want to put that out there. Harley, comparing it to Has Been Heroes. Has Been Heroes, I feel like I got into the flow more. Has Been Heroes, I feel like it more had to do with just getting a grasp of all the mechanics that were going on. And Tumbleseed is more about like the game just like destroying you, and throwing 8 million hurdles and obstacles at you at once. And it is randomly generated, so sometimes I feel like, oh my god, there's no way you could do anything at this point to survive. There's other things I'm going to talk about. Like I said, I'm going to do a video review. I will get into it. But that's it for today. That's the show for today that I now have to rip off of YouTube. I, again, apologize for taking so long for those trying to watch live, but I appreciate you sticking with me. And next week, let's see what happens. I got no idea. New laptop, fix this laptop. I'm in this office again doing the show alone. I don't know. But the podcast will always go on. There will never be a week without the podcast until I'm dead. Till I'm dead. I'll be dead next week. This computer controls, or this computer issues are going to kill me. But yeah, thanks for watching and listening. If you're listening to the recorded version through iTunes, thanks for putting up with the lesser quality. I apologize for that as well. But you guys are good people. And the thing I said I wouldn't forget, I'm going to end the show with. I've been getting a lot, and I mean a lot, of great emails and tweets and site PMs and YouTube messages from you guys saying how much you appreciate what I do. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate that, because there is so much going on work-wise. But on top of that, there's so much going on behind the scenes with GoNintendo. Advertising, which I've talked about before. But like looking for deals to sign that respect you guys. Let's put it this way. I am not easy to work with when it comes to advertisers, because I care about you guys. And not all the ad guys, but a lot of them don't care. And I'm not saying that to be like, I'm so great. I'm saying that to be like, I'm disappointed it's like that, but it's like that. I have a very, I don't know. It's a whole big thing. But your messages, your kind messages on all social media and everything are heartwarming and really help a lot and really give me the motivation to keep going. I mean, I'm going to go on forever anyway, because it's my job, and I still do enjoy it greatly. Just, you know, you have hardships and stuff like that. And it just seems like, I don't know, you guys have somehow, some way, for whatever reason, picked up on things and decided to shoot me some kind messages. So thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. Any struggles that come with the site are more than worth it because of you guys, without a doubt. And I've been doing this for 13 years, and I will do it for another 13 more, and 13 on top of that, 13 on top of that, because you guys are here. You guys make it all worthwhile. So thank you. And that's all I got. That's the end of today's show. Now I got to work on a goddamn laptop. You guys go play games and have fun for me, because that's not what I'm doing. I appreciate you spending this, whatever, how long it was with me. And you're all great people. Go have fun. Relax. You've earned it. I promise you've earned it. And I'll see you next week one way or another with this show, whatever happens. So take care. Have a great weekend. Play some games. Have some fun. Have some laughs. Do some goofs. Do some gaffes. I'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.